So how application source code become an application, right? For example, let me open a website actually. So Nike.com, maybe Nike.com, right? And when you open this website, you will see all this, the user interface, graphical user interface, GUI, right? And this is a website basically. So this website is, for example, this website is written in some HTML front end or whatever, right? So what companies does, they package the source code. You see this all source code, right? You guys can see the source code, right? Some whatever the Java code, source code, JavaScript, or Angular, whatever it is. So they package the code and they deploy the code into this server. What server? This Nike.com server. But a server should have an IP address only. And this is a DNS name. DNS name, right? DNS name, nothing but this Nike.com referencing a IP address, basically. What happens is they will buy the Nike.com, they will buy the domain. Hey, if anybody typing the Nike.com in a website, and you should refer this instance IP. Whoever is typing, Nike.com, right? That this should go to this particular instance IP address or range of instance IPs. Let's say I have 10 servers hosting that Nike.com application. If anybody typing Nike.com, that request should go any one of those 10 servers. And what they do, they deploy that packaged version of the code into those 10 servers. Okay, into those 10 servers. So most of the projects, the backend, this is front end, right? Can someone mute yourself actually? So this is a front app, for example, front end, right? If I try to log in and I need to add my username and a password, those two like a credentials, right? They should go to the database server in order to verify the username and a password are matching with their records, right? And most of the application servers, for example, an ideal architecture looks like something like this. Let me open my this one, and let's see. So an ideal environment, for example, let's say this is a front end application, for example. This is the front end application. That means front end server, Nike.com. Okay, and this is the database server to verify the credentials like a username and a password. And there is got to be a mediator between front end to back end. That is nothing but application server. So an architecture will be something like a web servers. Okay, web servers are nothing but like front end, HTML or whatever, front end, and application server. These both should be. Application server can get the details, that username and a password, and it will share those details with a database server, DB. Database server will verify the credentials and it will send back the response to this application server and send back the response to web server. So you need to know this is an instance, this is an instance, this is an instance. As a AWS engineer or as a DevOps engineer, what you are doing is you are building an EC2 instance. They want to use for different purpose. Okay, let them use. Okay, so they will divide those servers based on the security groups only. Okay, only application servers should have access for this particular server, and they would have a different security group rules for the application server. And if they want only database servers can talk to the different servers, they should have a different rules for that, security group that is having the database server. End of the day, you are building EC2 instance only. These are all EC2 instances only, and we know how to build a server, right? And we know how to change the inbound and outbound rules for the security groups. We'll be given all those details. So don't worry about web server, application server, or database server, things like that. Okay. So the most of the application servers, like previous, more now there are a lot of plenty of frameworks, like people using big data applications and Python applications and things like that. But most of the applications, like even right now, there are a lot of plenty of applications in the market, Java based applications. Okay, so most of the companies, they use Maven in order to build that package from that code and deploy that package. Package is nothing but deploy that artifact. Remember, when you try to install Git bash, what you did download a package from the from the website, right? You download a package, you will be given a zip file or jar file or tar file, right? And you click next, and application will be installed. That's what you're doing. You are building that zip file, tar file, yar file using Maven. Okay, and we'll try to use this document. This is just a simple Java Spring Boot Java application basically, and we will be building a package using Maven. So what I need to do, I need to have a Java 8 or later installed. Okay, let me go to my EC2 instance. Oh, I haven't launched an instance. Wow. Let me launch an EC2 instance. I will go with a basic Amazon Linux 2. That's fine. T2.micro is more than enough. Excuse me. And review. And I'm going to use the same key that I've been using and launch. Okay, let's go to my instance. Let's connect to that instance. What I'm going to do, I'm going to install Java. Okay, and I'm going to install Maven, and we are going to build the sample package for the Java Spring Boot applications. That's what we are going to say in the interviews as well. Most of the projects that we worked on, Java Spring Boot applications only with the relational databases. That's what we are going to say in the interviews as well. Okay, and we need Java 8 or later. Okay, and I will be given sample code. You see that sample code. Okay, and what we need to do is simple. This is how you need to have the source code architecture. SRC, nothing but source code. Okay, and main Java hello. Hello is the application that we are working on, for example. Okay, what is hello? It's just a simple directory. Okay, but this is the Java application architecture looks like. For example, source, main, Java, hello. And this is the Java code. This is the Java code. Packages hello, hello.java. You are having this hello, simple hello.java inside this, this folder. What is this folder? Is nothing but just hello, which is inside, source, Maven, Java, whatever. And this is the guitar.java, whatever. They can have anything they want. This is just a sample to say hello and to say something, guitar, whatever it is. But let's say the greeter, whatever it is, let's say they have something called, get the details from this web server and try to send the request to the database server. They can have any logic that they want. We are not the ones who writing that logic. Actually, we don't. It's good to know, but it's not mandatory. That's what I would say. Okay, and install Maven and run Maven command. When we were working with a Git, what command that we use? Git commands, right? Git commit, Git pull, Git push, things like that. How simple was that? And a simple Maven Maven commands, Maven V, that means version of the Maven, and simple, and a couple of things actually. Maven build, Maven compile, Maven package. That's it. This is the jar file that we are going to build. Remember, when we download any application from Google, we will be given a zip file, right? The same way you will be building jar file for most of the Java applications. How you are building jar file? Using Maven. Okay. What we are going to do, we are going to follow this document, and I will share this document with you guys as well. And we will install Java. Then we will get the source code from that repository, and we'll work on this. I think my instance will be ready. I guess, yes. Let's connect to this instance. Hopefully I can have that key ready. Let me go to downloads. The first thing I will do to go to these downloads actually. That's what I will do, because I have that key pair in the downloads only. Can you guys see the font size of the screen? Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to follow the step by step. Okay. So what we need to do, we need to clone this. We need to clone. So there is already sample code over here. We're not doing anything, just trying to clone the whatever the sample project which is given by the Spring Boot people, Java Spring Boot people only. But we need to install Java 8, right? So let's go and install Java. The first step is to install Java. Let's go and install Java. What is the command should I use? What is the command?
1.8.
1.8 star
minus m
space y hyphen y.
Okay. But this guy told us to install Java 8, right? But we just install JDK 8. Okay. Let's double click. Hopefully. Open JDK. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. You see that 1.8 only, right? Yum install Java Open JDK 1.8 only. This is a Oracle, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and everything. That's fine. I think we have the correct right one, I guess. Okay. And once the Java is ready, okay, it's not ready yet. So the next step is what I need to do. I need to get the code from here actually. Can I just go ahead and run this command? Yeah. Or do I need to do anything?
Need to configure the SSH key.
No, I'm going to run this on that server only, on the machine only.
Vishnu, install Git, Vishnu.
What is that? Okay, that's first thing. That's a good catch. Install Git. Okay. Let's go. Let's go there. Okay, let's try to clone it. Yeah, that's a good catch. Yum install git -y. Okay, now git clone. Yeah, I was able to clone that repo actually. Do you know why? This is publicly available. That's what it seems like. So they give 100% permissions. Like they don't need to know like who is downloading their files and everything. But in our case, that was different, right? You need to know who is, downloading your repository, who is cloning your repository, and all things like that. You could give 100% rights to everybody for your repositories as well. Okay, just letting you know. Then go to that initial cd to gs maven initial. Let's see what we have over there. That's gs maven, the folder we just download. Okay, let's go to initial. That's what they say. Just do it. So there is a folder called src. Let's go there. cd src. Let's see what we have. Main cd main. Okay, what we have? Java cd java. Okay, that's fine. Let's do what we have. Hello cd hello. Okay, let's see what we have. Greeter java greeter java, sorry, hello world.java, right? Those are the two things that we have. Okay, but before that, I want to explain a bit. So what exactly happens is there is a file called palm.xml file. You see that? So the palm.xml, what's in there, like what this file do exactly, right? Let's go to our documentation. Okay, so set up a project. What this guy is doing, this guy is creating a folder called source main java hello whatever. So this source main java, this is the Java application architecture structure basically. And this whatever the folder that you can have, you see that this is a tree structure basically. And this can be hello, this can be Nike, this can be men inside Nike. Okay, if you see here, right, if I click on the men, for example, if I click on the men, you see that /men, right? That's nothing but the architecture, the Java tree work, the tree of the Java, for example. Okay, like don't get like oh, this is something Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean. It's just a simple, very simple thing. Okay, and they have a two classes. One class is greeter and one class is hello world.java, whatever. If these people, if I click on the men, for example, they have a clothes, one class for shoes, one class for clothing, one class for accessories, one class for sale. Java classes. We're not the ones who writing that Java code, but just understanding, just letting you guys know like what exactly happening. Okay, and this is the Java code. The code is already there. When I clone that repository, the code already there. Okay, this is the hello world.java. What this is doing is just saying hello world or things like that. This is a greeter. This is a one class, and those people are invoking class from here. Okay, this is a public class, and they're invoking. You see that? This is the string, whatever. I'm not a Java developer, but that's fine. That's what I assume. Actually, that's true. So they created class here, and they are invoking class from here. You see that written hello world. So they're creating a class here, hello world. Okay, and the return hello world. I don't know. That's fine. Okay. Now let's install Maven. So before install Maven, what happens in the palm.xml, right? So what happens is the palm.xml will have the application based configurations. Remember, we were keep talking, like we were keep reading, like we are deploying the code, blue-green deployments, we are building the code, we are building this, we are building that, and we are creating branches, we are migrating the code from feature branch to source branch. So what happens is, you see that this is the configurations, application based configurations that they are building. So the first time, for example, they don't have this clothing. For example, they do have only shoes, and they don't have all these things, clothing, accessories, sale, for example, whatever. Okay. In the palm.xml, they're calling this jar file. Jar file is nothing but the package that we download when we install an application. They're calling it only version 1, for example. And if they are implementing another feature called accessories, another feature called clothing or accessories, whatever, and what they will do, they will have this version different, like they will have this jar file to be different version. They still have the old version. Okay, they deploy the second version of this application with clothing and shoes. They deploy the second version of that application and they test that application in the testing environments. Testing environments is nothing but they will create an identical EC2 environment. For example, we are deploying our applications into EC2 instances, right? In this case, they will create very identical EC2 environment and they will update with the code, with the clothing. Okay, they will update this pom.xml to version 2.0 and they will have all application based configuration same. Instead of hello world, they will have a clothing or whatever, basically invoking that Java class, whatever class. Okay, and they will test this, they will test it, and if this goes well, and they will deploy this updated version to the production environments and they will delete the old snapshot with the 1.0, and now 2.0 will be serving to the end customer. When I said that I will have a shoes and a clothes, I won't have only shoes, that's gone. Now I'll have a shoes and clothes. If I want to update this application with accessories, that can be version 3.0. If I want to do something sales, version 4.0, things like that. That's how they migrate the application, versioning the code. That's what we are saying. So when you build the package with a Maven, right, what you need to do, you need to run this Maven commands where your pom.xml is, exact same location of your pom.xml. So when you do Maven compile, Maven build, it is going to go through the each and every step of this pom.xml. It is going to build that jar file. If all the test cases in this pom.xml, that means it is going to compare that Maven compiler version 1.8 and artifact ID GS Maven or jar or what. It is going to compare each and every step, and if everything goes well, then it is going to build that jar file. Okay, and let's install the Maven in our EC2 instance and we will see how does that go. Okay, Apache Maven. Now I want to download that Maven. Maven for Linux, right? Is there any Maven for Linux or something like that? Installation instructions. What I will do, install Maven. What version of Maven this guy is using, that is very, very important. Okay, all the versions, people get issues with these versions only. 3.2.4 Maven plugin 3.2.4. Install Maven 3.2.4 on Amazon Linux. Okay, Amazon Linux 2, that AMI that I'm using, Amazon Linux 2. Okay, okay, I have the link right here and let me try to install it. Hopefully I will get that command. Okay, let's update yum update. Let's install Java and we are good there. Okay, and we have this JDK, that's fine. Java, we are good at there. Okay, now this is the command that that we are trying to use, but this guy is using 3.8, create a smile link for 3.8.4. No, I want to use it for 3.2.4 only. And let's see, 3.8.1. Okay. Okay, let's follow these steps, I guess. Or should I look for another document? Maven repo, Java. You can install Yum using Maven. Let's try that. Apache Maven. Let's try to using Yum install. Okay. Should I just provide something 3.4? Do you think it's gonna work? Let's try. Okay. Let's install just Apache Maven. No packages. Okay. It's not working. But why would this guy have? Okay, we need to download this package first. Okay, let's download this package. Download this package. Okay, and that's done. Now let's enter the following to version the number. Okay, that's fine. Release version is 6. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Now we install the Maven using Yum. But I am not sure whether it's going to work or not. If it doesn't work, I'll let you guys install it. And I'll let you guys work on your own. I'm giving you a lot of opportunities, right? To build your strength. Good for you. Okay. Now Maven is ready. Okay. Now let's go back to our document. Okay. Now let's do Apache Maven 339, right? Okay. Let's try Maven iPhone version. MV iPhone V 3.5.2. Let's see, how can I install a specific version? Install a specific Maven on Amazon Linux 2. Installing a specific version of Maven. Maybe that will work. I don't know. Let's try it. If it doesn't work, and we'll try to troubleshoot. We'll try to install exact 3.2.4. But I'm pretty sure it's not going to work because it clearly says that 3.2.4. But we'll try. Okay. So there is a pom.xml already, and let's see. Or we can replace this 3.2.4 with whatever the version that we have. Okay, let's try it, but let's try it. Okay, let's go back to our GS Maven project, and let's go to initial, and this is where we have pom.xml. Okay, open pom.xml. All right, I have the pom.xml ready. This Maven version 3.2.4. Okay, that is fine. So when we when we try to build that package, right, it is going to go through the steps. It is going to compile all the steps, this version, whatever, and it is going to build that package. And we'll try that in a minute, okay? And let's go back to our document. What is a model version? Like a POM model version, always 4.0.0. You see that? These are the kind of modules that they have. You see that? Model version always 4.0.0. Next, group ID. Group ID is nothing but artifact ID. Okay, this is the that is not artifact ID. This is the group ID is nothing but like a framework or kind of thing, Spring framework or whatever it is. Artifact ID is nothing but your project name. This is what your repository name should be. Most of the companies, they have that repository name like that. Okay, whatever the repository name that they have, they can include that version number to that project, and they will build that snapshot nothing but that artifact. Okay, and artifact ID and version number that we just discussed 0.1.0, right? Something like that. The packaging, okay, how the project should be packaged. Jar, right? That's what we are saying, jar. So these are the 4 components we mentioned in this pom.xml. Okay, and now we can compile the code. Okay, let's compile the code. What is the command we need to compile? Maven compile, that's it. MVN compile. Similar, very similar, like a git push, git pull, right? Let's compile the code. Nice, build success. Wow, we did very great job. Hopefully, actually, I thought the build could fail, so you guys can troubleshoot, but you guys are lucky. Now package the code. How we can package the code? I've been telling the whole section like, hey, how this source code become an application, source code become an application. Look at that. How simple is that? Just one command, not even 10 characters over there. Very simple, right? Let's package the code. Okay, let's go here. What happens? The package code will compile the Java code, run any tests, and finish by packaging the code up with a jar file, artifact ID, and this is the GS. The file will be naming GS Maven 0.1.0 jar. Okay. For example, given minimal pom.xml, but where you should have this file actually. To execute the jar file, run java jar. Okay. Okay, let's see. You see that there was no target before, right? Right now, there is a folder called target, and let's see what we have in the target. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You see that jar file? This is GS Maven Java jar that we just built. This package, this artifact, this is the file that you will be downloading from Google. And if this is the file you will be deploying onto EC2 instance, so that when somebody accesses the website, and it is going to go through the code, whatever the code that they have written in this file actually. So that's what happens. So far we build infrastructure, that means AWS environment. We build servers, we build backups, and we build repositories for developers to develop the code and everything. And now we are building the package as well. Okay, and this is all about the Maven. If you want to execute the jar file, and let's see what happens. this guy is providing the absolute path of the jar file. But right now, right where I'm at right now, I'm inside this target folder only. If I provide this, the job is going to fail, because unable to access the jar file, because I'm already in the same location as a jar file. Okay, that's a very simple mistakes people can do. Okay, you see that when you execute the jar file, this is the code that they have. This is the code that has been written in the Java files actually. Okay, and they have let's install. So what happens? Maven also maintains a repository of dependencies of your local machine. Okay, let's do install. What it does, let's see. Like to install your project's jar file to the local repository, then you should invoke install goal. Okay, let's install. But we don't install on the local, right? We will install the project on the remote machines, but in the real-time scenario. But we'll try to, whatever the Maven commands that we run, there should be exactly in the location of pom.xml. Okay, if I do Maven install, let's see what's going to happen. MVN install. Is it working? That's good. No, it's error. Okay, let's go back one step. MVN install. You see that? So whatever the Maven command that you run, it should be the same location as a pom.xml. Okay. So what happened when you install that Maven? The install goal will compile, test, and package your project's code, and then copy it to the local dependency repository, ready for another project to reference it as a dependency. So what happens is, when you do it, it is going to compile and test the code, and it is going to build that dependency, whatever the file. And in the real-time scenario, they will have that artifact. What is the artifact here? Whatever the the package that we built, this is the artifact. Artifact is nothing but this package. So companies, they will store this artifact into Nexus. That's all we can do with the Nexus. There is nothing, you shouldn't have to know more about Nexus. GitHub, how you store your source code into GitHub, the same way you store your artifacts into Nexus. Create a folder called target or whatever. And this case, by default, it is target. The Maven people created the target or whatever. But in the companies, they have their own path. They can provide the path. Okay, Nikes. Inside Nikes, inside men or inside men, and create whatever. For example, inside Nikes, you should be building jar file with the shoes, right? Inside Nikes, inside men, and store this jar file inside shoes, whatever, for example. Okay, and that's all about Maven. And this is you see that this is the code. If you want to try it, you can try it. This guy is explaining everything here step by step. I want you to guys go through all these steps, and I want you to guys write a simple test cases. Remember, the people were talking about like, hey, do you have any experience with the test cases, whatever? We don't write any test cases, right? How we can write test cases? The developer is writing code to print hello world. We don't know what he is writing for, right? Whoever is implementing the functionality. Somebody talking?
Stop.
Hello?
Help.
No. Yeah, Raj, can
Sorry.
you? Yeah, that's fine. So whoever is writing code for functionality, right? They should write test cases. We don't write any test cases. The main will tell you the application code, the same src main will tell you the application code. The same src test will tell you the test cases. These are all the test cases. Okay. Who will be writing the test cases? The same, the whoever implemented that, Java code, they should write the test cases as well. Who will be writing the Java codes? Developers. Developers will write the code. Developers will implement the test cases. We'll be building these packages inside Jenkins, basically. That's our job. Okay. Let me stop recording.